Well, all right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dowell here. I think I want to make this video right here called Exposing the Devil. Now, if you know anything about the book, you know anything about the Bible, scriptures whatsoever at all, it gives us continual warning about this tongue. Um, Women are the weaker vessels. As soon as something enters into their mind, many times, too often, more often than not, they don't check things at the door of the mind. In that, they'll throw things into the atmosphere. Men do the same thing. Men will get out here and lead someone to believe something or to say something about someone on unfounded allegations and accusations. But you have to understand, it's not the fact of whether they're saying is true or not. It's a strategy. It's a strategy for you to change the way you view and the way you see things about that person or your experience with that person based upon their assumptions, based on their accusations, based on them accusing. And the whole purpose is to get you to become so disgruntled and so distraught at that person, even though that person has not shown you any of that. Anybody can paint a picture of anything. Oh, you know that person right there, they're this and this and such and such, so and so. The first thing you need to do is always be on guard or always be on the defense. Because many people are trying to persuade you to change your mind of people that is in your life. If you have someone positive in your life, you better believe someone negative is going to come to try to destroy the relationship and the vibe between you and the person you're getting along with, be it a sister or brother or friend. If they have some type of underlying motive of envy and jealousy or just even the spirit of destruction that's in them because their life is miserable or whatever it may be, everybody out here needs to be on guard. And anytime you hear someone making any type of an accusation or an assumption out of nowhere, drawing narratives, you know, this person does this because of this, and this person does that because of that, and that's not your experience with them. You have to understand that the enemy is out there trying to manipulate your mind and manipulate your conscience to get you to be against and cause division, dissension, and discord. See, again, the tactic of the enemy is this. It makes no difference whether it's true or false. Just put it out there and keep bombarding the atmosphere with it. And as long as people are listening, it's changing their perspective, even though the person that they're shooting at has done nothing to them whatsoever at all. The whole idea is to manipulate you and to coerce you into their narrative. As Hitler said a long, long time ago, if you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. It doesn't mean it's the truth. It means that people have accepted it as their truth. So you have to guard your heart, like the scripture says, with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. There's the devil. If he's going to bring about division, how's he going to do that? Unless he's using some woman or some man to speak in your ear negatively or to have a blurred perspective and vision of someone that they're pointing at. My suggestion, like I've always said, anytime you hear anybody, even if it's in, it seems like it's a pure conversation. You can speak about plenty of other things in the world. But anytime somebody is speaking something about someone and that party is not there, you need to inform them that you're going to go tell that party what's been said. And hopefully that we can all have an intelligent conversation and get the devil up out of here. Because, you know, you'll never be able to build anything worthwhile. You'll never be able to advance forward in life as long as you have someone that's submitted to the devil at his will. There's a lot of people out here that they're not interested in the drama. They're not interested in discord. They're not interested in division and dissension, none of that stuff. They want to live a quiet and peaceable life. But you have to understand, some of us are spiritually stronger than others. And if we're strong, the book teaches us we need to bear the infirmity of the weak. That includes exposing them to help, shine a light on the situation to bear the infirmity, because the whole idea is to get them up out of there. And most people are scared of conversation that could potentially cause conflict, because you know how people do. If you get someone that's accusing someone of something, then they have plenty of wiggle room where they can say, well, they'll flip the script on you. Kind of like gaslighting and a narcissist. They'll flip the script on you as if you're the one that's got the problem because you were listening to them. And then you're sitting up here with your mouth dropped down to the ground like, what just happened? I know you just said that. And of course, another thing to do is get your cell phone that has a recorder on it, and ask them people, do they care to mention what you just got finished saying again on this recording, so that I can actually take this assumption or this accusation or this leading or this finger pointing to that person and see what they have to say about it. Because remember, Satan always hides under a cloak of maliciousness. He always does. And the best way to expose Satan and the best way to understand those who are submitted to him at his will is by shining the light of truth on the matter. Yeah. I mean, I get people shoot at me all the time. And I got a lot of people out there shoot on me, especially on this internet. But they don't matter to me because they're not part of me. They're outside of Straitway. Is that making sense? And they persuades a lot of minds of the people, but people are weak in mind, so quick to be to believe evil about someone who has never done anything to you and has never shown you that. But because they know that I'm not going to respond and I'm not going to react to all their little silly accusations, because I don't listen to them. I'm a busy man. I'm working. I'm too busy producing. I'm too busy prospering. I'm too busy leading people in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. We don't have time for that. So we ignore the noise. So therefore, it stays only with that group of people. But when it comes over here, and then we have our own people starting to believe stuff like that, that's when it becomes trouble. That's when it becomes a serious problem. And these things must be dealt with. You cannot sit there and start a fire in a forest and expect for it to be contained within a few trees. The whole attempt is, and the whole reason for starting the fire is to burn down the whole forest. That's what it's there for. And that's how dangerous it is to people who take heed and give heed, not only to all words that are spoken, but everything that enter into their mind. We've got to become professionals at checking things at the door. Again, your duty as the ones that's being strong is anytime someone that is doing this, and it's a subtle form of speech. Sometimes you find yourself in the midst of it. Sometimes these people like corner you by themselves and then putting their narratives and their assumptions inside of you because it's based on their truth. Not that it is the truth, it's just their assumption. And it shouldn't even be communicated because it's not going to bring any edification, exhortation, and comfort. But when they do that, what you need to do is be strong enough to love them, and do the proper steps. Go to that person that is being shot at and tell them. But make sure you bring another person with you too. So that way, if there's any conflict, and I know what's going to happen, those people are going to be upset at you for being righteous because the carnality is replete, it's steep. That's what they do. Again, and there will never be any closure on anything like this until we meet the conditions of Yah. Listen, I deal with spiritual warfare all the time. And I tell people all the time, especially my own family, I said, I already have the world outside I have to fight against. And then I have the issues and the cares of the assembly or the church I have to constantly put out fires and get people to see the truth. The last thing I expect is coming in my own home and have to fight the same battle and the same enemies that I do outside of my home is I have to fight the same battles and same enemies on the inside of my home. It's just sad. Even my Ishas would tell you I'm too great of a man in their eyes to be dealing with something like that. A man's home should be his place of peace, his place of rest, his place of solace. It's time to enjoy his children and his family, not to have to sit there and fight the devil in your own backyard. I hope I've been able to stimulate thought and you heard something and you learned something, you may have to listen to this video again and again because it's the truth, and it's the truth straightway. Consider coming over and join my Patreon channel. The link will be down below. I've got probably about close to a 4-hour meeting that I'm going to release that took place a few years ago, and I think it's time to put it out there now. I'm going to be releasing it on my Patreon 50 or 100 so that you, the people out there, see what I'm going to tell you what Pastor Dowell does is I let things run on for a while. Let all the accusers and everybody run on for a while and everything, okay? And then you get to believe what you want to believe. And what I do is I watch the people pick and choose what they want to believe based on what somebody said. Now it's time for me to bring this out, and you get to hear in context, uninterrupted, the whole entire account of the meeting of myself and some elders adjudicating a matter. Watch this. Now, it depends on where you're at spiritually. If you're full of offense and assumption, and you already hate me, there's nothing going to change. But if you use independent thought, if you use self-autonomy, you listen to exactly what's being said and the truth of what's being said, chances are you can be delivered, and maybe you will never, ever be deceived again in yourself by good words and fair speeches that are designed to deceive the heart of the simple. Y'all be encouraged. The King is coming.